Hey Insurance, this is Tony Cañas, Chief Motivational Officer at Insurance Nerds and PNC Client Advisor at the Jacobson Group. Today, again, I want to talk to you about remote work and why it's the future of insurance employment. This week, I had a very interesting conversation on chatwithtony.com with a mid-level leader at a super regional insurance carrier, and she said a couple of really fascinating things. I was in the office all week. I'm so far behind. Hearing this really blew me away. Here's a successful, middle-aged female leader who has been at the same company for her whole career and spent the great majority of her career so far commuting to the office 5 days a week. Just before COVID, she was able to work from home on Fridays, and then COVID hit, and she worked remotely for 18 months. Now, she's vaccinated and had to come in for a week's worth of meetings, and what it left her feeling was not thankful that she could concentrate at work, but rather annoyed and feeling behind because she has become so much more efficient working from home than from the office. Also, her 45-minute commute, which for a decade and a half felt like a given, a completely normal part of working life, now she has realized that that hour and a half a day that she spent driving was an incredible waste of time and money, so she now finds it deeply annoying. Then she also explained that it's not just a commute. It's also the hour it takes me to get ready, to put on makeup, to put on heels, and everything else to appear professional. Also, going into the office also means I'll have to deal with dry cleaning. Also, I'll be called all day in the office. I just hate that I'm spending more time on work stuff while also getting less done and feeling behind. Take a moment to really read this quote. It was so powerful that I literally asked her to slow down, and I took notes so I could get the exact quote while we were chatting. I had never thought about this. Like most men, I can shower and be ready in about 15 minutes, maybe 20 if I have to shave. The complaint about temperature in the office I have heard from many women during my career. Generally, the executives are in charge of the office thermostat, and they tend to be men, and they tend to like the office a little colder than their female employees, who are perennially freezing. Older male executives, generationally speaking, are probably baby boomers, and many of them have stay-at-home wives, so they never have to worry about childcare. This is becoming very rare for the younger generation, where most employees, both male and female, have working spouses or working partners, and childcare has become ridiculously expensive, and during the COVID era, at times, quite simply unavailable at any price. This is a big part of the reason that there is such a disconnect today between executives and employees on returning to the office, with nearly 3 times as many executives wanting to return to the office than their employees, according to the Future Forum Pulse as quoted by Forbes. According to a survey of global knowledge workers by Slack, 75% of executives want to be in the office at least 3 days a week, while only 34% of non-executives want the same. This is a huge gulf, and unhappy employees will largely vote with their feet without even having to move to change jobs, while also getting a huge raise. 86% of employers report being close to finalizing their post-pandemic workforce plans, with an embarrassing 60% of executives saying that those plans were made without the employee force being involved, without the employee force being surveyed. Of course, if the only people having real input into the post-pandemic plans are executives who are much more likely to enjoy being in the office, the smart decision is going to seem obvious. They're going to come to a conclusion that they should bring everybody back. In fact, they'll probably feel that they're being really flexible by adopting a hybrid approach, something like Monday and Friday from home and Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in the office. After all, this is much more flexible than they were back in 2019. Let me be super clear. We are currently in the most competitive insurance talent market in modern history, which is likely to last for at least for a few years. Insurance unemployment is at 0.8% right now, and every job category in the industry is currently ranked as difficult or very difficult to fill for the first time since we've been tracking this, for the first time ever. You will lose an incredible amount of talent and will find it incredibly difficult to recruit new talent to replace them. Insurance salaries are rising rapidly. Check out my video on this topic that's coming out tomorrow. and you're looking at your payroll budget increasing by 15 or 20% next year in the best case scenario. 50% of carriers have said that they will have more remote people going forward, and 85% have said that they'll be more flexible even with in-office people going forward. The competition is largely going remote, and if you don't, the only way that you'll be able to replace people in this market is by significantly overpaying them for the pain of being forced to be in the office. Are you ready to see your payroll budget explode by 40 to 60% in 2022? I don't think any of us can afford that. I don't think any carrier or broker can afford that. This really is a sea change. This has been a black swan event that nothing in your career prepared you for. Even if you worked for 50 years, you have never been in a situation like this when it comes to a radical change in the way work will be done going forward. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for tuning in.